before we've seen anything on the screens.
See, that's what which they really screwed up that timeline. Sorry, I just hit my table here for everybody listening, which is everyone. Sorry for that mic noise. But they really screwed up the time. I have grown more and more frustrated with the timeline in between episode 3 and episode 4. Has grown increasingly frustrating to me how much Obi-Wan ages and how Luke Skywalker is like, you served in the Clone Wars? That'd be like me going like, you served in the second Desert Storm? Or somebody being like, you were around when 9/11 happened? Yeah, that wasn't that long ago. Like, how young do you think I am?
If you ask a 20-year-old, my brother is born in 2000. For him, 9/11, it happened, but it's not like it happened.
No, but if you so Luke knew that Obi-Wan was old, right? And then he was surprised though that he was around for the Clone Wars. So that'd be like asking someone that is clearly old enough to have been there.
Yeah, hold on.
And then being surprised that they were there. Let me
rephrase this. If you asked a 20-year-old was sitting at Starbucks next to you, social distance with a mask on, or whatever the proper thing to say is these days. Okay, that will date us in 100 years. They'll be like, "Oh my God, these guys were around when COVID was happening.
They were around before everybody wore masks all the time."
Yeah. When it's a colony of Darth Vaders out there. Anyways, if some little whippersnapper sitting down and the news flash pops up and goes, looking back on Y2K, what happened 20 years ago as we get into 2021? And he looks over to you. This is a 20-year-old kid. And he says, hey, man, were you around when that happened? You'd be like, you literally just heard them say 20 years ago.
Yes.
Like, the math didn't compute. Like, oh, well, yeah, but like, that was really a thing? Because Y2K is not talked about anymore.
Right. But I guess I think about things like that when I think about Y2K was only 20 years ago. Yeah. And I remember that.
I know because you lived through it though. What I'm saying is
I'm saying if I meet somebody in their 70s, I assume they were in Nam.
You're a Namist. Okay. I get it. Okay. I got it. You're a Namist. Okay.
I'm not assuming that they wanted to be there, but
okay, you're a Namist. Listen, I got it. Well,
I'm just saying I would assume.
Okay. Right. But Nam is something we talk about all the time. That's the difference.
Okay.
That's why I'm distinguishing Y2K versus 9/11. No one talks about Y2K anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the people who bought into it don't want to talk about it, and the people who didn't buy into it never cared to talk about it to begin with. And so, I think there's probably other things. So, like if you said, I mean, refer like this: if you said, if some kid asked, "Where were you when do you remember Bill Clinton being impeached?" That'd be kind of weird, right? Because you're old enough. But if they called out a random piece of legislation that was signed in the 90s, they'd be like, "Oh, you're alive for that?" Like, well, yeah, it was signed in 93. It's like, so I think the point is that for huge events, they are talked about. But, if you go to China right now, hello to the China listeners, they do not know about Tiananmen Square. They don't, it's censored. It didn't happen as far as they're concerned. And so,
but that's not a point of pride. I would think that the Emperor who orchestrated the Clone Wars and then won the Clone Wars would always be like, I guess you don't have to be like, well, Palpatine, he won the Clone Wars. But I guess that is one thing that I don't think about because of the free society that I live in. Air quotes for everybody listening. I don't think about. Yeah, I don't think about what happens when the government tells you or doesn't tell you that something happened or tells you actively that something didn't happen and how powerful that can be.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
If you go back to episode 4, it's not entirely clear from my perspective.
Wait. Mandalorian season 2, episode 4, season 1, episode 4, or Star Wars episode 4?
Any of them.
A New Hope.
Any of them.
Any of them. This applies to all episode 4s.
Episode 4s.
If you go to Seinfeld episode 4.
Yes.
No,
this is it. But if you go back to A New Hope, it's not entirely clear from my perspective that Luke actually understands what he wants to do in the beginning of the movie versus what he ends up doing at the end of the movie. Because he wants to
Oh no, he
the
does
academy,
not.
right? And so
Yeah,
I'm not entirely clear, but it seems like he wants to go for the Empire. Uh,
yeah.
and then like within 30 minutes, Obi-Wan's like Clone Wars. He's like, yeah, rebellion, let's go. Like, you know,
Well, the empire was a legitimate form of government that rose to power through a vote, right?
well. Let's not. That will be a hey Mando. We will dig deep in. We're going deep on that one, okay? But I'm just saying, like this dude literally went from I'm gonna go fight a Tie Fighter to let's go blow up the Death Star in like 3 minutes after.
Okay, but in that time period, they murdered his aunt and uncle, his surrogate
No, when he
parents.
meets Obi-Wan, he wants to go fight with the. He wants to go.
No, because he even reacts with, "I can't do that. I've got a moisture farm. I can't go with you."
But he okay. His
And then he realizes, like, oh no, they tracked the droids. And then he goes home and he's like, no, Aunt Beru lost 180 pounds because now she's literal skin, no bone, or literal bones, no skin.
no. He doesn't say on principle. Listen, how dare you, you commie? Let me tell you
Okay, no, not on principle.
yeah, I am a allegiance to the Palpatine and the Empire and all that stuff. I am going to fight for the rest of my life for these guys. He's like, well, technically, I got stuff to do, but he's not like against the rebellion, you know. So that's all I'm saying.
No, but I mean that's every teenager. I don't know exactly how you were
Which
in your
is
teenage years just because we didn't know each other then, but like I knew so many teenagers that had anarchy symbols everywhere and were like, you know, screw the police and everything. But now they're generally law abiding citizens that want the police around.
which is why it shouldn't surprise you that he asks, "You were around the Clone Wars? Kids are dumb."
Okay.
Love all the
Oh,
kids out here. Love all the kids out here. I was a little aggressive. I have four of my own. So I'm speaking from experience, and I was a kid a long time ago for you young whippersnappers out there. But I'm just saying, like kids say and do dumb things. Like I can chalk that up to that. Um,
okay. I promised in the last episode not to get political, so I'm not going to call you any modern
okay,
presidential names.
yeah, but I'll just say this finally, just on the Luke deal. How many people you talk about anarchy people that you go to high school with who are rebellious and then literally go to the military? Like they spent their high school days.
A lot of them,
Right,
yes.
right. And so
Most of my friends in high school went to the military. All three of them. Yeah.
that's an aggressive number for you. I'm just saying.
Well, two of them were brothers, so it was
Okay,
really easy.
okay.
It was a 2-for-1 special.
But you know what I'm saying? Like you're like, wait. The guy who got in trouble all through high school is going to fight people to keep people from doing things that wait. So I think life is full of just weird and I can let a lot of stuff go. But I can't let go, but I can't let go. And some of this other stuff. It's that's what drives me crazy. But I don't know. Can the Mandalorian's armor actually ever be pierced? For the love, like I feel like at some point we're gonna have an ion cannon, like you saw in Episode 8 of the main thing, and like they're gonna like, be boring through the wall, and like Mandalorian's gonna walk there, and it's just like refract back across the world and kill Kylo Ren and Darth Maul. Spoiler alert, he's back. But anyways, yeah, I feel like that's gonna happen.
Yes, Beskar can be compromised. In fact, he says that in like episode 3 of season 1. My armor's been compromised, but see, it got compromised by physical damage, which blaster fire is actually physical damage in the Star Wars universe because it's energized gas particles, not light. They're not lasers.
And you think you would?
Yeah, but it can be compromised. But it's hard. It's like diamonds. How many times do you have to stab a diamond with a knife for it to start cracking? How many times do you have to shoot a diamond with a gun? Right? Like if it's not of a certain caliber of force hitting the diamond, it's not going to do anything, no matter how many times it happens.
I agree.
So Beskar Steel is kind of like that.
But okay, so that black sword that Homeboy's got, if when he hits
The dark saber, yes.
dark saber. Listen, I like slang. Okay, don't be technical on me. Let me do my. Let me be slaying. You're Mister. You're Mister.
But it's really cool. I mean, it's a very special lightsaber.
The special effects on it kind of suck. Can we be honest?
Well, it's hard to do a glowing black blade.
Listen, they should have thought about that before they did it. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Well,
like
when they originally did it was in an animated series.
Yeah,
And it worked a lot better.
and so they're like, "Hey, we're gonna break this out. Okay, get the green screen out. Let's do the best we can." Like, ooh, okay, this shouldn't be the plot we go with.
Yeah.
No,
but also like the color black, like true black, looks weird to our eyes. Like there's different car companies that have played with black paint here in our world, and it's like non-reflective black paint, and like it looks weird, like because it starts looking like nothing. Because we're used to seeing like black as a color, but there's like some sheen to it, some dimension to it, something. But when it's like a void, it looks weird.
way tips to the stealth bomber. You probably shouldn't be doing that. I mean, that's what it sounds like you're going down here. Like,
no. I'm just saying it looks weird when like certain black objects look weird.
How you know about the development of the stealth bomber? I do not want to know, Kyle. I'm sorry. Okay.
It was a BMW car.
Yeah, but so the sword, when he hits the Mandalorian armor, what happens?
Wait, did he hit the Mandalorian with the Darksaber?
Not to know of, but when he
does, okay, I didn't think so.
When he does, what happens?
When he does, that's gonna be a real unstoppable object, or unstoppable force meets an immovable object moment. Now, of course, those cannot exist in the same universe, but I think you're gonna get what you have in Return of the Jedi. Wait, does Luke actually hit Boba Fett?
I thought we were going to get Captain America hits the
Thor hammer.
Thor hammer on the shield. I thought that's however that worked out. No, yeah. Thor hits the hammer on Captain America's shield. That's what I thought we were going to get. Like,
we saw there that the immovable object beat the unstoppable force. Yes. Right, which generally that makes sense just with the laws of Newtonian physics.
Again, the pay grade.
Immovable object will beat the unstoppable force because it takes less energy to stand still than it does to move.
Which is why that's a different story.
Yeah, but no, I think what you're going to get is it will be able to last a couple of times, and then it's going to start cutting through his armor. I think that's what we're going to see, is that it will hold up a little bit, but that's when it's really going to get compromised.
And what do you think was going on at the end of the episode when he's looking at those Borg-like TIE fighter suits in the hangar?
Oh, those. So I think that he is looking for. I think that Moff Gideon, that's the he we're talking about, is creating some super soldiers. I think that he is trying to create super soldiers, and that these are the super soldier suits that he's going with. And I think that that's what he's preparing for.
And Ahsoka is going to kill them all.
Quite possibly her and Mando are going to team up to kill them all.
Baby Yoda. So we did have like a weekly prediction. So like each week we can just predict what we think is going to happen. And of course it will range wildly. Like I was early on about Yoda being a Palpatine and I'm already off that. So like I will hold this to you when you get it wrong. When you get it right, I will completely ignore it. So just be ready.
So just for next week or like way in the future? How far are we looking?
Spin it however you want to. It's your show.
Okay. So Baby Yoda, during the big showdown between Moff Gideon and Ahsoka Tano, the child, and Jinda Djarin, I think that Baby Yoda is mostly going to be helpless and like not doing much, but then him and Ahsoka will team up. Like she'll be like really under the gun with something, and like and he's gonna like come to her aid in some manner.
Force lightning. If he blasts force lightning, this might be worth it.
If he does, like I could see where like she's got a lightsaber and she's up against the Darksaber, and Mando's having a shootout with the super soldiers, and then like she's about to get whacked, killed, and then Yoda's just like, and just like Gideon gets electrified, though it's probably going to hit the lightsaber, but still like affect him, and then like four of the soldiers just like boom, And I know those sound effects make for great radio. My apologies to everybody listening.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.